Okay, so everybody signed on? Are you signed on? Yes. Okay. Now, if I click the Windows in the lower left-hand corner, and again go to my cog, we still got a few more settings to look at. You see, there's a privacy option here. Lit apps use advertising ID to make ads more interesting based on your app activity. Turning this off will reset your ID. Let websites provide locally relevant content by accessing my language list. Let window track app launches to improve start and search results. Show me suggested content in the settings app. So if you don't like how it tries to anticipate what you enjoy looking at, you can shut all those off.
So if we shut that first one off, does that mean advertising?
I wouldn't say that, but they won't be targeted to you anymore. And I like that myself. You know, if I'm going to receive advertising, I know there's nothing's for free. I know that's how they pay for Facebook, how they pay for YouTube, and so forth. I'd rather watch an advertisement that's geared toward me. Yeah, they monitor everything. They see every website you go to. They see every Facebook listens to when you talk on Facebook to somebody, it listens to you, so it catches the words. Um, Google Chrome does. It's listening to us right now. I've probably signed in as myself, so it's capturing anything I say, and probably everything you're saying is going to my user. Um,
My thing with that, I don't anticipate, because if I buy a car part with padding, it doesn't matter what it is, I think I look at it first, then it comes up.
yeah.
And this is for sale, this price, buy it here, well, or that, don't need another one.
That's what's weird is, see, mine, if I go searching for something, when I'm in Facebook, it'll pop up with little ads of what I just looked at or things that think that are similar that I might be interested in. But yours is after the fact, huh?
If I've already bought it, then I don't need, car part.
Right.
I'm gonna buy another part from a door, I want to fix it. Don't need to see it.
It'll keep getting better and better. Of course, it depends upon your view of that. You may think it's worse and worse as they're playing Big Brother and tracking everything about you. Here's where you can turn on the online speech recognition or turn it off. Remember how I was using dictation the other day? If I turned this off, then looks like it wouldn't be able to do that speech recognition. I don't do any of this, but I I would leave it on. Yeah. It doesn't. Not to speech. The speech is just like if you wanted to turn on dictation or Cortana, it would try to recognize what you're saying. Shutting this off is not going to stop Google Chrome from monitoring you or Facebook or any of that.
Cortana is the same thing as like Siri?
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah, and if I was a little bit better at it, you see down here in the search bar, there's a little microphone there. Run word. Run word. See, I'm not searching for the right thing. Let's see. Cortana. Cortana, how to run word. We'll see what I need to say.
I have to say MS Word or Microsoft.
Click on Cortana, go to the notebook, click on settings. Okay. Launch Word. Launch Word. Launch Word. Launch Microsoft Word. Okay, I give up on that. Other people maybe I slur my words too much. I don't know. It seems to really work on websites. Rome. Wikipedia. That's right. Wikipedia. Not that one. That's interesting. Wiki? Maybe I should have said wiki. Wicca? Wikipedia.
You never understand.
There it is. Brings that up.
It's that Kansas accent, I'm telling you.
Yeah. What if I do cali.edu? Cali.edu. Well, I'm not even. I better quit doing that. I'm bringing up something inappropriate. I'll give that one up.
Sometimes it's helpful to tell them county. I've had it in that before, when I find a
Cali County. Oh well. I don't use this, but if I want my tablet to recognize, then I could do that. Let's see, diagnostics feedback, probably nothing exciting there. Activity history, no. App permissions. Location, allow access to location on this device. If you allow access, you will enable Windows to use your device's capability to determine your location, and Microsoft will use your location data to improve location services. Have you ever been to those websites where it says, do you want to allow them to use your? So Microsoft has its own version of that, where if it knows you're in Arc City, it tries to bring up stuff that's specific to what you'd be interested in. Here's where you allow apps to access your location. I guess you can set your default location. If I click set default here, it maps access your precise location. Yes. Correct. Wellington, Kansas, and then I'll just go ahead and choose it right there. And I've set my default location. So then I'll close that. Here you can choose which apps can access your precise location. Allow access to the camera on this device. If you allow access people using this device to be able to choose if their apps have camera access, allow apps to access your camera. You come down here, you can do off on a lot of these, shut them off or turn them on. Anybody freaked out about having a webcam on their laptop? All right. Yeah, my wife did that to her laptop. So I can just turn the camera off. Yeah, you can come in here and shut it off. Yeah, she heard a story about how the hackers were coming in and taking control of your webcam and recording everything in the room and listening to everything. And so she at least took care of the recording part.
She get a phone call and she wanted $5,000 for
Um,
the
have you got those? I got emails like those every once in a while. Freaked me out the first time because it had my password in the subject, and it was my Yahoo. Yahoo's like one of the worst emails, I think, because they get hacked into constantly, so they don't like know what they're doing. Um, and they were saying that I had been looking at inappropriate things on my computer, and they were implying I'd been doing inappropriate things with the webcam and so forth, and obviously I don't know what I look like. It's just like, no, I don't think so. I haven't been going any place, so I didn't pay. But I suppose they might have some pictures that are kind of iffy. My wife gets it pretty hot in the house sometimes. I'm sitting there without a shirt on.
They've hacked into my account and they changed my password on me. I had to contact Yahoo and get that. And then they also sent a lot of emails to the White House and they, okay, I don't know if this is good or bad politics, but I got all these, thank you for your emails from the White House. My inbox was like, no emails to the White House.
See, that's real scary.
I don't get involved with politics, not writing like that anyway.
Yeah, because if they send like mild ones, like I think you're doing a great job, or you're not doing a bad job, that's where you get those back. But if they send some kind of threatening, that's where the Secret Service is coming to your door. And
I just might be.
I don't know why Yahoo cannot clean up their act and quit being hacked into. They're just like,
Yeah, it's become a store. They're big and they're struggling to stay.
yeah,
So many other companies, they just haven't picked up.
yeah. If there's nobody that likes to be hacked into and threatened, and
AOL had the market in the early years,
right,
and they just kind of blew it, and Google came and took over, and now it's kind of doing these companies just big, and then they just take everything for granted.
no,
Like these cell phones, remember BlackBerry used to be
oh yeah,
uppity company, and now you can't even find a BlackBerry phone.
yeah. They just don't stay up with the times. It's yeah. Sears, J.C. Penney's.
Yeah.
That was a big thing. I've grown up looking through those catalogs. Christmas time, the special catalog they'd have. You look through as a kid. You look through for toys and things like that. If they had just moved to selling things on the internet, they could have been Amazon. But yeah, you can do all those settings to turn them on and off.
What's this swipe? It's gotta be able. You don't have it.
I don't know.
It's swipe.
I've heard the name before, but I never have used it, so I couldn't tell you. I know it's Microsoft, but that's the extent of what I know about it. You can change access to the microphone, allow apps to use the microphone. I don't really use notifications. I couldn't even tell you about that. And I don't really do much with my account. I don't use contacts. I don't use calendar. It's like you can call using some of these apps. And I really don't use email. There's nothing wrong with their email, but you have to configure it. And I just use Google Gmail myself or my Microsoft Outlook from this. You can't just go, if I type mail down here in the search and I go into mail, see how it's asking me to add an account? So it's got to be configured first. And I would rather just use Google Gmail so it doesn't matter what computer I'm on, I can sign on and access my email. I don't have to have it configured and be on this laptop and so forth. Let's see, task, messaging, radios, other devices, background apps, app diagnostics. Let's go to documents. Allow apps to access your documents library, so I guess you can shut it off so they can't access it. Or you can choose which apps. Pictures, video. Okay. That's about privacy. We'll go back. Here's update and security. You can check for updates here, and so then they'll go out there and look to see if there's any new versions you should have. Yeah, be careful about that. A lot of times, Windows 10 automatically has your updates turned on for you. It's hard to turn them off. It used to be a lot easier. Have you ever have your computer reboot as it's decided it's going to go ahead and do an update, whether you're ready or not? Yeah. You go use the restroom, and by the time you come back, your machine's rebooting. Because Windows 10 will pop up a little box saying, getting ready to do some updates unless you click like no within the next 2 or 3 minutes type of deal. And I don't know what time frame is on it. But if you don't click no, it automatically do the updates and reboot and so forth.
How did you get that
The last one here under click your click your Windows and back to your settings, and then that's the last one here. Update and security.
I got it. Update that class.
That it broke me. The back this was 9/11 actually. They pushed out an update that broke my computer. I couldn't do a lot of the stuff, and it took me about an hour to get it up and running that morning. That wasn't real pleasant for the students, logged on and so forth. So I figured out how to shut off the updates.
You got them all shut off?
I think it's not checking anymore anyway. So if I want to check it, I'll come out here and make an effort to check it. I don't want it to check it and break me or like right before class type of deal. So,
How do you turn it on?
that's a good question.
This morning. Go to advanced options. That just turned
Where is automatic updates in the group policy? Windows 10. Automatic updates. Computer configuration policies. Computer configuration policies. I don't have policies. I have to go to group policy management. Let's see. I don't remember where it's at in here, to be honest. I think there'd be a search. Local group policy editor. Local group policy editor. Something I found. Told me where to go to shut it off. Here it is. Okay, so express WinR or type gpedit MSC. So if I come down here and type gpedit MSC, then you'll see that. I click that. Brings up the same window. So I was in the right place. Navigate the left pane as for a file explorer to computer configuration. Administrative templates. Windows components, Windows updates, Windows components, Windows update, defer updates. This is the one I did. I remember that now. Where it says configure automatic updates, that's where I disabled it. Not that easy. But that was their goal. They didn't want people shutting it off. Like I say, if we go to check our advanced options here, here's show a notification when your PC requires a restart to finish updating. I expect that probably has something to do with whether you have a window pop up saying I'm rebooting your PC for you after it automatically does an update. Choose when updates are installed. You see when I search, is there a never option? There isn't, is there? There used to be. You could shut these off so it wouldn't go out and even look. Give me some updates for the Microsoft products when I update Windows. I can't even set this. There is, I guess, right here. View configured update policies. And see, I have disabled my automatic updates. So they moved it to the policies to so nobody would really be using it. Let's go back there. I think that was it actually, but let's see. Delivery optimization, Windows security. If I have to click Windows security. Here where you might have some actions needed. So if there's a problem like this, actions recommended. Let me click that and see what it recommends I do. It wants me to sign into Microsoft on this machine. I don't want to do that. Device performance and health. Down back, if you click update and security. And some of these I was looking at was under advanced options. And also I looked under view configured update policies up here at the top. So right there. And then there's also advanced options down here. But there probably wasn't much more exciting that I was going to show on any of that. Oh, so you don't have anything to?
Update, 1903, I got that. Like it's download and install.
Oh, yeah.
I have done it.
It's never good to be the first one to install it because there's a lot of bad programmers out there. Here's a troubleshoot. Or if you try to figure something out, trying to find and fix a problem with the printing. I could have used this the other day. I was trying to print that, and I ran out of paper. And I put paper in it, and it wouldn't recognize the paper. So then I put more paper in there, and it didn't recognize it. It did the load, but then it kept telling me that it was out of paper. So probably if I went here and did the printer and ran the troubleshooter, that would have hopefully helped me figure out to fix the problem. And they got all kinds of troubleshooting. So if you're having trouble with something, like you can't get your speech to work, then you come here. Recording audio, you go through that. All of these have a troubleshooter. And it's nothing exciting. When you click this, it'll ask you a question. It'll go out and check settings. Assuming it comes back. But it's going out there and checking things now, I guess. Playing audio. Let me just click that. That should be a lot faster, hopefully. I'm not going to get it to come up for some reason. Oh, here it is. Just it didn't pop up. It was in the background. Says, which of these devices do you want to troubleshoot? Probably none of them because I don't want to break it, but you choose whichever one you want, and then you click next. It'll give you a suggestion. Turn off sound effects and announcements. It may improve sound quality. So you can say yes, open it up, no, so forth. And after you choose one of those, then it'll give you something else. And it gives you this, so you can set that and apply this fix, skip this fix. Audio devices instead as default, still not fixed. So it tries to come up with a way. If I had to guess, this probably resolves maybe 20% of the problems. I don't have a whole lot of luck with Troubleshooter. Very rarely do I go through the little questions and then it fixes magically. But if you're going to have to go and pay somebody to fix your computer, it's worthwhile to just go through that Troubleshooter and see if it'll with that 20%. Nothing else really there.
What about Bluetooth? Bluetooth, music to the car radio,
I don't know, to be honest. I never have done that.
troubleshoot. I found it would be where you hook Bluetooth up.
You mean like the Sirius?
Down there where it says Bluetooth, find a fixed phone.
Yeah, you mean like is it Sirius or XM? You mean the one where you can pay for the radio and it? No, you just mean
No, if you have music on your laptop, like play it on the radio. Bluetooth on the car.
I don't know. Mine has not every car has it, but mine has a CD player, DVD player, where I can burn music to a disc and just put it in there and it starts playing. Mine also has a USB. Such that I don't got my flash drive with me, but I can plug my flash drive in there, and it'll load files off that. But I don't think mine has Bluetooth, so I couldn't even tell you.
If you talk on your phone, you can,
I never have tried. I don't really talk on my phone that much.
that way you can talk when you
Then we got wanting to get one of those little stands for your phone. And I'm thinking that you can dial there and put it in that little stand. But I think my brother uses voice activation on his phone. Like he'll say, "Call David," and it'll call me. In that case, if you have it in that little stand, you could be hands free. How do you turn on sound? You sound like you know how to do that.
What?
How do you turn on the sound so you can do that?
On your phone,
Uh-huh.
well, you have to sync it to your car radio. Go to Bluetooth settings. You have to be.
Or I mean the voice activation. How do you turn on the voice activation? Oh, so I just need to know how to use it, learn how to use it, huh? I'm not clever enough in the car. I don't know how in the world people even text. Though a lot of them don't. They get in wrecks. Because I can barely dial a number when I'm calling somebody without tipping the car over. A lot of times I just pull over and call when I'm gonna call. Okay. Well, that's pretty much all the settings there. So I'm gonna close that. Close this. And we'll take a look at this keyboard shortcuts. I think I have that window open. I don't really like how it printed, but you see the title here: copy, paste, and other general keyboard shortcuts. It's on your paper. Yeah, see the copy, paste, and other keyboard general keyboard shortcuts. It's title there. They'd be about right on there on the first page.
Oh, yeah.
That shows you the grouping. So these are all the things you could do like you're in Word, and you want to copy, paste, and so forth. So on this, you expand it. So I click that, and this is what you're seeing. So just to demonstrate some of these, we won't necessarily do all of them. But if we bring up Word, so you can type in a box down here that says type here to search. Then you type Word. And then click blank document. Now go to a web page. Doesn't matter what. And highlight something. So click with your left mouse button and drag to where something's highlighted. Now across the top up here, do you see anything about copying? Edit copy or anything like that? There isn't, is there? You know, if we were in Word, under the Home tab here, we have copy, cut, and paste, don't we? You don't have that in Chrome. Now, you can right-click. Remember I mentioned earlier that right-clicking brings up a context-sensitive menu? And then you'll find a copy. Not all programs will let you do that. Not all websites, different programs you run and so forth. So if yours doesn't do that, if I look at how to copy, second item in that first page, it says copy. Copy the selected item, you do a Control C. So since I have this selected, if I do a Control C, so I hold down my Control key and do a C, in theory, that just copied it to my clipboard. So now if you come over to Word and you do a paste, it brings that in.
Just hit the face icon, you don't have to use a control something.
Nope. You can use a Control something, but you can just hit the paste. So these are shortcuts for you to do various items in Windows. So you don't have to click that paste. You could do, what's paste? Control V. Now these are critical in some cases, but some cases there is no right clicking and doing a copy. And so if you don't have that feature, then what do you do exactly? Well, you do this. Now there is no edit copy over here that I can see. I'm going to see if it'll copy this. See how this is highlighted? I'm going to do a Control C. That should copy to my clipboard if it works on this application. And then I come over here and I can do a Control V. Didn't work, did it? So they haven't programmed this to work with the clipboard. So it'll only work with applications that they're programmed. Undo an action, Control Z. That's important. No matter what you're in, Control Z is a universal, and this is the fourth one in that list. That's a universal undo. So whatever you're in, you've screwed it up, just do a Control Z. Let me show you an example. If I go to Cali and I'm going to register as a user or as a student, I go to admissions, apply now, start a new application. Okay. Application for taking on high school. Here's the inquiry form. We'll go to the inquiry form. So I got some information here. And I like your site. David Hayes is the best instructor. What if they receive 100 of these a day if they'll realize it's me doing it? Please give him a raise. Okay, so I got that in there. I'm selecting other things, so forth. Somehow I come down here and I delete that. If they programmed it correctly, then I should be able to do a Control Z and it undoes that. Now, if I did that, there's no undo button anywhere. There's no little circle going back, to say, hey, undo what you just did. If you remember Control Z, that saves you. that has saved me a lot of times because I fat finger things right and left, and I'll delete like a whole paragraph I just typed or something. And if you do a Control Z, it brings it back. That's probably one of the more useful things in this entire document, to be honest. There's Alt Tab, which is the next one down. This allows you to switch between applications. Now, you do have to have applications open, but if you hold down your Alt key and you start pressing Tab, and I got my Alt key held down, and I'm keep pressing Tab. See how it's cycling through? So I can go and pick something. When the little white boxes around that, I lit up, and it'll switch that application. I use Alt Tab quite a bit because instead of going down here, minimizing things, trying to find it, I just hold down my Alt key and just keep pressing my tab like that. I don't think I've ever used this one. Alt F4, close active item or exit the active app. So I suppose if I wanted to close this, I could do an Alt F4. That didn't seem to work. Oh, because my F4, laptops are weird. To get to the F4, I had to push the FN button on mine. Yeah, so I do Alt, FN, and then F4, and I just close that window. I don't remember whose computer it was, but my disastrous first day where I had everybody terminate, blow up their windows, somebody's file explorer was locked up. Yeah, it could be that might have closed it. I don't know. I never did try that, but that'd be something if it won't close normally, you could try that, I guess. Now there's a lock your PC. That probably only makes sense if you actually got a password on your PC. But if you're going to walk off, you don't want anybody to get on your computer, then you do the Windows logo and L for locking your PC. Now sometimes you just want to get back to your desktop. And there's different ways you can do that. Down here in the bottom right-hand corner, there's a little rectangle in there. If you click that, that'll show your desktop. You can also right-click on your taskbar here, and somewhere here I think is show your desktop. There it is. Show the desktop. But again, sometimes you want to get back to your desktop so you can access your icons here. Now they tell you, let me bring up some Windows. Got this loaded. They say that if you do the Windows logo and D for desktop, I'm assuming, you hold down your Windows button. Shows your desktop. So it minimizes everything and shows you the desktop. Some of these only apply in certain applications, like F2 where it says rename the selected item. I doubt if that would do anything in Word. That's probably more in File Explorer where you see that. I'm not going to go through every item here. Some of these are interesting, some not so. Yeah, you probably have to be in File Explorer. You probably have to have something highlighted. See, like if I go to File Explorer, and remember if you're on a Windows or a Kali machine, you have to right click on it and go to Pictures. But if I were to go to Documents, and if I have something selected, like this one right here, if I do my FN key and then F3, that doesn't rename it. I hope I haven't shut off my sound. On page 2 or 3, sorry, page 3. Again, tons of items here. Most of these you'd never use, but there's one down at the very bottom that says print screen. This takes a screenshot of your whole screen and copies it to the clipboard. So, like if I like this mountain picture here, if I press my print screen button, it'll copy that to the clipboard. Now it won't work on my computer because I have print screen programmed to snag it. But after you've pushed that, go to Word and do paste. That work? Yes. That way you can capture your entire screen. So if you're trying to tell somebody something over the phone and they just don't get what you're trying to tell them, then do your print screen, paste that into like the Google email message, or put it in a Word document, something in a Word document, say, this is what I'm talking about. I do that all the time with students. They'll send me an email and I'm not understanding at all what they're trying to say to me. I'll say, do a screenshot and send it to me. And they send it to me, it's like, oh, okay, I know exactly what you're talking
Wow.
about. Here's a control spacebar turns the Chinese input method editor on or off. I don't even know what a Chinese input method is. Chinese input method editor. So you see there's tons of different things. Now the Windows logos are probably the more interesting ones for interacting with Windows. And they're on page 4. So down the bottom right hand corner, you'll see 4 of 11. And it should look like should look something like this. We take Windows logo key and then all the different items there. Now our first one, this Windows logo key says open or close start. So if you press that, see how this start comes up? Just Windows by itself, by default, brings that up. And we haven't talked about this too much, but this is where all your applications can be found. So if you're trying to run a certain application, you can press your Windows button, and then you can scroll down with your mouse wheel, looking for whatever you want to run. See, here's a camera. And all of you should have camera if you have a webcam. So I click the camera there. And that's under the, I pushed the Windows button. And then I scroll down to the C's. And you see the camera there. So if I choose that, there's an option. There's a video here. There's a camera. If I click the camera, it brings this up. And I guess it's centering on my face. That's pretty smart. Now I'm going to click this again, take the picture. I'm not sure if I got it. Does it? Do you just say allow, and that'll allow you to use it? And this will take a picture then that you could send to somebody. So here's the picture it took of me. So then I could put that on Facebook, I could email that to somebody, so forth. And if I go back, didn't work. Of course, if you have your webcam covered up,
No, I haven't.
say okay. Oh, so click privacy settings. This will bring up same thing we just did. So click allow there. Back to the neighbor at the top. Go to the top. And change. What's on message device? It's on, so that's fine. Allow apps to access. Put down here. That will turn that on. Okay, so then camera's on. Okay, so now go here, like see camera. And I'll scroll down. Camera is off, so turn it on there. Now if you press your Windows button, that new camera. This doesn't do it, I don't know. I'd act like it wants to do it.
No, I think it.
Oh, there it is.
Oh,
It just took a.
it does kind of follow me.
Yeah.
I don't want to.
See, like Christmas time came. Maybe I want to send a video to somebody. Click the video here. Click that. Merry Christmas. I hope everybody has a happy holiday. And it creates a video. And you just create a video. So this video, you could even send to somebody. You see the share up here in the upper right-hand corner? Let me do my control so you can see that. So right here. If you click that, then you could send it via one of these applications. I want to see if Google was there. Yeah, they got it locked down pretty good to where it's just Microsoft. I don't know if Twitter's Microsoft, is it? But you can do this 3 little dots here and you click open folder. And this shows you where it's saved at. And this is a MP4 file, which is a video file. And you can attach this to an email and send it to somebody. Now, if you're going to go on Facebook and want to create that video, you can create videos directly in Facebook. You don't need to do this. A lot of other applications are the same way. Probably Twitter's the same way, if I had to guess. You could probably create a video directly in there, and you don't have to actually do this. This is kind of external. I'd have to look up how to do it, but if you want to put it on your website and say, hello, welcome to my business. I create quilts. And this is my special interest. Then you could put that video up on your website, and then they could play it. Oh, do you?
Yeah.
What's that do?
My cousin sent me those phone cards, out diamonds, and she found them in acceptance money closet after she died, and she wanted me to fix them. So I decided to try this and worried about them. It was 10 piece.
Yeah.
So I was worried about Fritz popping and everything, and I got them all done. And sent them back to her. She gave them to her husband for acceptance. And because they're the same size and everything, it goes from one, and it just changes while you're looking
Huh.
at it, to the next one and then to the next one.
That's interesting.
It's like, well, GoDaddy says it's legal and they want me to do away with that. I'm like, more.
Yeah, that's kind of the key, is what you like and what your customers like.
I like it.
Okay, I'm gonna close that. Anyway, that's the camera.
Wow.
You can flip this around. I don't know where that'd be flipped around to. I guess I can't flip that around because that's that camera right there. And I wondered if it would like turn around. This is more, I think, on your. I have no clue.
On your cell phone, you can take it to it.
So you can do it on your phone.
Yeah, but this isn't there's a different app on your phone. So I'm guessing this is like for those laptops where you have the removable tablet. It probably has a webcam on both sides. I'm guessing. Okay, I'm gonna close that. That's the Windows button there. Action probably not too exciting. Focus and navigation probably not too exciting. Cortana hates me, so I'm not gonna show it. Charms menu, I have no clue what it is. Here's again, if you want to display the desktop, you do Windows D. Display and hide the date and time on the desktop. I don't never have done that. Windows Alt D. Windows Alt D. Oh, pops up with the calendar. So if you're trying to look up and see when something falls date wise, then you can bring that. Windows Alt D. And that's on page 4 of 11. We looked at File Explorer quite a bit the first day. So if I want to open up the Windows Explorer, I do Windows E. And some of these kind of make sense. E for Explorer, that'll open that up. I don't know what that'll do to the Kali machines where Explorer doesn't work quite right. Hopefully it brings it up correctly. Never have used Feedback Hub, couldn't tell you what it is. I never have used Game Bar. Start dictation, that's what I did the other day in Word. Windows H. Obviously, it doesn't have to be in Word because we did Excel too, I think. Here's how to open up settings. Now, I screw this up quite a bit. I don't think that's an I think it's an L. Let me try it. Windows L. It's not L. L must lock my computer. So if you just locked your computer, there's a password over on the side. Must be I. So Windows I. Does that look familiar? That's all those settings we just went over. So like if you want to shut later on, you want to shut your camera and stuff back off because you don't want that on. You do that Windows I, and that brings you up, and you can choose update and security and come over here for your privacy and so forth. I think it was right there. Maybe it wasn't. Where was privacy? Under privacy? Yeah, and then you can shut those back off. Oh, did you?
Hey,
Oh. I guess we're on page 5 now, if you're following along with those windows. That's not too useful. Connect, quick action, probably not too useful. Lock your PC or switch accounts, probably not too useful. It is Windows L locks your PC. Windows M, minimize all windows. That would show your desktop. So I'm not sure how that differs a whole lot from your Windows D. Windows M would minimize everything, so it'd shut everything, put everything down. Wouldn't turn them off. It just would show your desktop. Opens. Oh, is that still up there?
No, that's the same thing as Google Maps.
Oh, yes. Yeah, except for it does every one of the windows. Now here, open search, Windows S, pops up in your search. Now your search is just not based upon what's on your PC. It might be on whatever you're wanting to search for. Like if I want to search for Ukraine, so I type in a Ukraine there, and you see it comes up with the web results over here. I can read more about Ukraine, the economy, history, culture, I guess. There's a little plus down here, or you can say see all web results. So if I click see all web results, of course you can see which one it goes to. It goes to Bing. Um, Bing is Microsoft's search engine. They'd rather you use Bing than Google Chrome or just Google.com. Sorry. Um, this is really nice. This is probably one of the best features I think that they've added in. Windows Shift S. This brings up it uses the clipping tool. If you've ever has anybody ever used a clipping tool in past Windows? Have you? It's a very selective way to pick things off your screen. Like let's say I like this, try the virtual agent. I want to steal that. I want to have that on my own website. If I hold down my Windows Shift S is in select, your screen will kind of gray out. And now if I put my mouse in the upper left hand corner and click and hold down my left mouse button and drag, it'll draw a rectangle around whatever. And when I lit up, it just copied that to the clipboard. So now if I go over to Word and paste that,
You don't have to hit anything, it just automatically.
automatically. And this works no matter what. Like if you're in Google, yeah, isn't that cool? If you're trying to show somebody something and you don't want to send the entire page, remember print screen copies the entire page to your clipboard. And you just want to select part of it so you can really point it out to them. Then, if you're trying to tell them, well, you need to go to the View tab, and they're saying, I don't understand. What do you mean by the View tab? Then I can do a Windows Shift S, come up here, draw them a rectangle around whatever, lit up, and I just copied that to the clipboard. And I'm happen to be in Windows, but I could be in Google Gmail. And now if I paste that, it pastes just that little segment.
So,
Yeah, if you go to Word now and you do a paste, whatever you just copied should appear in the document. Now, if you're in a Paint package, yeah, like if you're in Paint.net, you can copy part of your screen and paste it into Paint.net. So anything you can paste into, you can do this with. I don't know. Does Yahoo allow you to paste items like images or text? Do anybody know? I don't use Yahoo enough to know. But.
Like, when you're using their email?
Right.
Yeah.
Okay. Now, see if you bring it into Word, then you can use like if I go to Insert and choose Shapes, you can even put an arrow on it, and you can have an arrow going to where the issue is. Well, that's a pretty thin arrow. I don't see how to make it thick though. Height, width. No.
Word document, format.
Oh, there. I did an insert, and then I chose shapes, but it didn't work very well because I still don't get a very thick line. But if you bring it to paint.net as part of your best, remember all those tools that we looked at in paint.net? Some websites you go to do not allow you to copy pictures. Or it's not easy to copy. Like if I go to cali.edu here, and let's say I want just this tiger here. If it lets me copy anything at all, it'll probably be this entire banner going across. Maybe I don't want that entire banner. I just want this little piece right here. Again, if I do my Windows Shift S, then I come up here, and maybe that's the only piece I want. Then I go over to Word or my email or whatever I want to put it in, and do my paste, and bring that in. A lot of times you can right click on an image and save as, but then it just isn't what you wanted. It's like bigger than you wanted or so forth. This allows you to selectively pick items. I couldn't get this to work. I suppose I have to turn on my clipboard history to get this to work. That seemed nice though, but emoji. That's bizarre. Windows period or semicolon. So Windows semicolon. I think I know where the semicolon is. No, I don't. There it is. Windows semicolon. Keep typing to find an emoji. I don't know what to do with it. Oh, off page 6. Yeah, open the emoji panel. Probably if I'm in Word, maybe I could paste that in, or if I'm in an email. Let me go to Word. Okay, I'm in Word. I want to bring up my emojis. Windows semicolon. Where in the world semicolon? Just had it there. Oh, and then you just double click it, or click it once, I guess. Mine's coming in as black and white. Not sure why it's doing that. Is yours guys coming in black and white? Now you have to be over in Word. Right. And then when you bring up emojis, so it looks like it won't insert it like on a web page or something. You have to be in something you can edit, like Excel or Word. I suppose if you're in email, click it once is what I did. I thought double click originally, but does your double click work? How about double click? Got one going too. Close that. They're there. They're behind the.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Not very big.
No, and I couldn't see any way to make it bigger. Of course, if I highlight it, maybe I change the size, it would. Let me change the size of that now to, oh, yeah, you can make it bigger. So if you like those cute little things when you send an email and you don't know how to do an emoji in whatever application, I guess Windows does that for you.
Wow. That's the only one we got, is good.
For the emojis? No, there's other ones there. Like if you do the Windows semicolon, there's down here at the bottom are all the different ones you can choose. Like this is all the spaces.
Oh, yeah, that's good.
Yeah. And even if you use your mouse wheel to scroll down, there's tons of additional ones they have. There's food, I guess. Cars. Huh. Hearts. I'm not sure what hearts is. Oh, is that what all these are? So I'm sitting here, huh, yeah. They probably got a whole department of Microsoft to create emojis. Sad but true. Okay, now there's one thing I want to tell you not to do. The section, let me find the section because I don't want you to do it at home and think you've messed something up. This is kind of weird. You see this one that says virtual desktops, keyboard shortcuts? Let me locate where that's at in your document so you can cross it off. Don't do it. Oh, the Windows logo? That was on page,
Oh, I see, you already got these printed off.
right. The Windows was on page 4. The virtual, let me see, that's command prompt, virtual, page 9. Yeah, on page 9, down at the bottom, about right here, cross that part off. I did that on my desktop before I came to class, and I wasn't quite sure how to get it back.
Virtual desktop keyboard shortcut.
Right. Hopefully this doesn't mess up the recording, but I'm gonna show it to you on my laptop. I got a lot of things running now on this, don't I? Let's say I wanted a fresh Windows with nothing running. You see it says add a virtual desktop. It's the Windows key Control D. So Windows Control, and don't do this. Windows Control D, and it gives me another window with nothing running. So it's like a brand new version of Windows. Well, if you don't know what you did, you're sitting there, what happened to all my programs are running, my Word document and so forth. It's still there. You just got 2 Windows environments now. And it says to open a task view, you do Windows Tab. Windows Tab. And see how it shows all my desktops? So I can go back to desktop 1 by clicking it, and I'm back to here. So if you like that, you could definitely use that feature.
You have 2 screens. Pop up on each screen.
I don't know. Yeah.
I can get out of it.
To get out of it, if you do your Windows tab like that, it brings these up, and then you see in the upper right hand corner there's an X. I click the X here, and that'll close that desktop. And then I'm back to where I was.
You got to that by Windows what?
To add a virtual desktop,
Yeah.
that's the Windows Control D.
Right.
And it's in that section I had to cross off. So if you want to keep that, then you do a Windows tab, and that'll allow you to switch between your desktops. I never, though I do have at home. I sometimes find web pages I like, and I'll leave them up, like online job postings. I think I'd like to do this, apply for this position, and just how I like to keep busy. But I don't. It takes a while to apply, because you have to fill out your work experience, your education. To apply for a job may take an hour to do. And so I leave it up there running because if I bookmark it, I know I'll never look at it again. And so I have these windows open on my computer at home. So maybe if I want a fresh window, then that would be a way to do it.
So you don't know, you got three, this one and then two screens you can't move from the other one.
I don't know how that works with. I don't even got a dual screen at home. Didn't mean to set one up, but yeah, that would probably work pretty slick if you could. So sometimes I have to do online training where I have to listen to a video and answer questions. And some of it I've done so much that I don't really need to listen to the video. But if you try to alt tab over to another application, some of them will lock it down, saying, "Hey, you're not paying attention." And so if I could have it running in its own virtual environment, and let it go through this little spiel about I don't get many of them wrong anymore. And it's important training. Don't get me wrong, but I've done it so much I know all the what you need to watch out for. It's kind of like when bad things happen on campus, when somebody's being discriminated against sexually and so forth. How do you react? If I walk out the building here and I see a student that's kind of too close to another one, she looks like she's really uncomfortable. It's just kind of panicked look on her face. What do you do exactly? And so I know all the things. There's deflect. You walk over there, make sure because anyway, I don't need to listen to the video anymore. I know the answers. There's only one of them I got wrong. It was something about a date. There's a question about date, like somebody gives somebody a kiss. Is that okay? Do you think? See, I think I said no because that's like I haven't asked your permission. I just went ahead and did it, and I got that one wrong. It was because it was a romantic situation, and based upon that setup, then it wouldn't be considered like sexual harassment, discrimination type deal. Now, if a student went up to a student in the class and did it, see that would be. So I got that one wrong. I got another one wrong too that just didn't seem to make any sense to me. I can't remember what that one was. Yeah, I think that's what they're kind of implied, But I was thinking in my head, well, they didn't ask. They said, "Can I give you a kiss?" In a way, I suppose that kills romance. If you have, yeah, sign here. Is it okay if I? But again, you have to be careful because some bad things that happen. So, the one more thing I really want to show you is if you're working on multiple applications here, if you got a dual monitor, then that's a better way of doing it. But if I want this to take up half my screen, if I hold down my Windows, and you can go ahead and do this with one of your applications, and do your left arrow, what it'll do is it'll take that window and fill it up on the left side of your screen. And now it's asking me, what do you want on the right side of the screen? So if I click one of these, like Word, it'll put Word on my right side of my screen. So it automatically ranges everything perfectly for me. Get that to work? Right?
How do we get out?
You can, no, all you have to do is click a maximize on one of the windows, and it'll take up the full screen again. Now it isn't just left and right. I think you can, like I got Windows currently, or Word currently chose. If I do my Windows button and up arrow, you see how it puts that up here? And then I click something else to be down here.
That's what you got at the bottom.
Yeah, that's how I'm splitting that up there. Right. And then you choose one of the other applications and it fills it in down here. Now, if I click back here to my browser, and if I did the Windows down, it'll put it down at the bottom, and it's asking me what do I want to put on top. So I can choose local group policy. I oftentimes will have something open on this side, and then I'll have something open on this side. I'm grading on this side, and I'm updating grades over here. An example is I grade these discussion forums, and they're supposed to put a post, and they're supposed to reply to 3 other students. And so I have the grade book open here so I can manually update their grades if they didn't do the instructions. And so I have the discussions open over here and I have grades over here. Now it's better if you have the dual monitor because then it takes up the entire screen. You don't have to squint and so forth. Yeah. Yeah, whatever you have, you do your windows, left, right. As you keep doing it, I'm holding down my windows and I'm just keep pressing my left arrow, right arrow, up arrow, and you see all the different combinations that it'll do. Yeah, you could arrange a lot of the different ones like that on that then. Now you got the sheet there, so you can look through all the different possibilities. Just want to mention some utilities as they're wrapping up. If I click my Windows button down here, and as you scroll down, there's a calculator on your Windows 10. It's actually on every version of Windows. And here's a calendar. Remember how it was asking about us about the calendar before? So I could set up my calendar on here. Camera, of course. I scroll down, looking for other Microsoft ones. Here's mail and maps, messaging. A lot of those you have to configure. People, this is pretty much if I'm setting up email, configured to my laptop here. So then that would work in conjunction with that. Photos, your settings. That same thing we've been looking at over and over is actually here. Snip and sketch. Remember how we did the Windows Shift S and we copied parts of the screen? That's actually the snipping tool there. The snipping tool. It has a little bit more functionality available to it. Here's a Windows accessories. If I download that, here's a bunch of, or no, here's a snipping tool. I don't know what that is above then. But here's a lot of Notepad, Paint, Internet Explorer. So these are all the accessories that they bundle into Windows 10. If you want to fax from your machine, you choose this. I assume you'd have to have a hook up into your telephone. What? That's under Windows accessories. If you go down to the W's, do you not have that?
Fax, you say?
Supposedly, I never have done it for my PC.
Oh, yeah.
Windows fax and scan. And it could be it even go through the internet. I don't know. It might even go through the internet. Times I've sent fax is very. It's probably been 10 years since I sent a fax. I used to go down to Dillon's way back when. Any more of the places have me email, like if they want me to send my transcripts, they'll have me scan it in and send it. So I use some kind of scanning. Right. Like if you had a telephone connection on your PC, if you plugged in a wire, then
Do I have to do that, or can
I don't know.
Wi-Fi?
Like I say, I never really have played with the fax. Well, we're out of time. Was there any questions you had on anything? We covered a lot of information.
Thank you.
You're welcome. And thank you for coming, and I'll see some of you next week.
You have, I won't be here, I'll be at Silver Care.
Oh, okay.
Next week, that's not security, what is it?
I can look here in a minute. Let me get this saved.